Like what happens to Alan, when he was in Italy, you are paid for your creativity. Ah, okay. All right. Now I understand. It's all new for me. Thank you, Bartek. This means that somebody will pick up that present and can become a member of this channel. But that's great. Thank you very much, Alan. Thank you. I really appreciate it. So, what happens is that you are paid for creativity. But of course, you don't have any experience. Maybe you had an internship, but the internship we know 100% that doesn't have the same value of starting a real job. Because the internship is a small step, it's a small step of your first contact with the real world. But when you are getting into a real car designer job, then you discover how the machine works. And you have to respect the rules, so you have to get in with a big sense of responsibility toward yourself, toward your teammates, toward your manager, the design director, and the whole institution. You will be watching projects that are top secret, and of course you cannot talk about those with your friends or your family or outside. You start getting into a new, I would say, a new way of living your life as a professional, okay? And this is important because it's your best time to show your creativity and earn the trust of your management, your peer, your teammates, so that in the next project, or if there is a coming project, they might think that you could participate even if you are very young. So you will have a certain period of time, I would say at least 2 years, okay, 2 years, during which you will be working, and you will have a great opportunity to bring some of your creativity on a project. Maybe a particular part of the project. Maybe you will be helping the lead designer in making alternatives for, I don't know, front graphics of the car, the back graphics of the car, maybe some interior parts, I don't know. Or maybe you will do something combo. Les étapes sont elles respectées, l'échelle est respectée, les collègues. I'm reading. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Combo German. This is a typical, development. But then I will explain to you that sometimes this can be changed, accelerated, or slow it down. It depends from several type of factors. So now I will tell you the classical step by step, okay? So that we frame down, we take a picture of how could be the reality. And then I will explain to you also the differences between the main path and the reasons. So when you are there, this is the moment where people will be looking at you, especially management. So there is one thing very important here, that of course the most important thing is creativity, okay? Creativity. But there is also another aspect that is very important that people look when you start into a design studio. The sense of responsibility that you have toward the job, toward your role, and toward the community. Ciao, Partumar! Can alias modeler like me can pursue sketching cars like designer? Can I become a designer from model while climbing the ladder? Furthermore, it all depends about your portfolio, your sketching projects portfolios, and not your alias portfolios. And I will explain this now. Don't worry, I'll explain. So there is responsibility. Then there is another important factor that we all look. It's education. When I talk about education, I am not referring too much about your school education, but I'm referring about your behavior. How are you in the studio when you are interacting with managers, directors, your teammates, other designers, lead designers, when you talk to other people that pass by and they meet you? Are you arrogant? No, that's not good. Are you very nice guy? That's very good. You understand what I mean? Because all those things give us a clear idea at the very beginning whether you are good or bad for a career development. What does it mean? It means that if you are good, the ladder could be, you could make the whole ladder one day. But if the feeling is bad or controversial, you might stop somewhere. At least in that company. And I've seen people start really well, and I've seen people starting so-so and stagnate in the middle. And after 6-7 years, they understood which was the problem, which was mainly a characteral problem. It's your head, the way you are, the way you express yourself, the way you talk to people, the way you interact with people, and they modified a little bit the way they were. And that's a learning process. For some people it's difficult. It's difficult for me too, because strong character, we believe in ourselves, we have a strong ego, everybody have a strong ego. But some people more than others. And for people that have strong ego, it's more complicated to accept critiques. But if you become a little bit more humble, what happens? It happens that you learn how to modify a little bit your behavior in a way that in that environment you are much better accepted compared to before when you got in. And people look at that and they say, hey, you know what? This guy is making a great effort in showing us that he listens and that he understands his mistakes. He understands and accepts the mistakes and is doing something to work on it, to be better. And if your work, your interaction gets better, then your career moves again. So that's the main thing. So when you pass this period, you start going forward another period of time that could be 2, 3, 4 years, okay, in which you become a sort of expert, okay? Now, expert does not mean that you have responsibilities. Expert means that according to the HR status of your contract and your results and evaluation by your director and manager, the company recognizing you certain qualities in terms of professionalism, creativity, I would say micromanagement, and technical understanding. That's very important. Technical understanding. What does it mean? It means that even if you are a designer, you did not go to engineering school, because you have experience, so experience, you gain experience with the years, you understand the technical aspects of making a car, whether it's production or for a concept. Because also for concept cars, there is a lots of technicality to understand and respect, unless you cannot make that concept. So what's happening is that they recognize you the combination of being creative, micromanagement with young designers, and technical experience. That's a mix. A mix that is really important, because that's a boost, you know. It's saying to the design team, the design studio, that this guy knows what he's doing. And if we have a project that is complicated, or a project in which we must be very careful with the technical aspects, cost, planning, we can trust this guy to manage or to understand the project better than other people that are younger and do not like too much to get into this depth, you know, of the project. And that's normal, simply because those people are too young. They are there to show that they can make the next concept car that will fly in the sky. And here we start having people that are able to make concept cars, but they are also able to understand how a real car is made and all the hard points that they have to carry on and try to overcome with design creativity, designer creativity. So that's very, very important. So when you get this, you get in another spot period that can be longer, this one, which is design management. Okay, so now what does it mean, design management? Design management is divided in two different roads. I explain to you. Okay. Design management. What does it mean? You get to this point as expert or lead designer, okay? After I will explain to you, because in this part here there is the lead designer here. I will tell you about the lead designer, don't worry. But this is very important. Then what happens? You have two choices. Here you have design creative management. And here you have design project management. I have been here before becoming, for a short period of time, design director. I was here and I did this for 20 years. Before I was designer, as you know, I made this car. I designed this one when I was in Fiat, okay? And this car gave me the opportunity, this project, to become a junior design project manager. And that's how I started my real experience in how you make cars. Because I had to do everything, you know, with the, of course, with the designer team, which was a small one. 3-4 people helping me, interior and exterior, and we brought that car into production. Now, what's the difference between those two? Here you are responsible for a small team and their creativity, not their feasibility, project feasibility. Here you experience the creative design management according to a design philosophy. Okay, this is design company philosophy or strategy. Here you have a project management tactic and strategy. But to do this, if you're a designer, like I started as a designer, it's a lot easier to take their project and bring it to production. Let's see, I'm reading your comments. What car did you start with as a design project? It's the Fiat 600. How many people were in your team? 4 people. And where are you working for? Renault. I worked for Renault 26 years, but I just finished. I just stopped. I was in Fiat. I started in Fiat. That's when I met Alan also, and then I moved to Renault in 2000. So between those two, they still can become design directors, but it is easier for this guy here or girl, because here, not having too much of design creativity management, in general the HR say this guy on, I don't know, this one okay. Now when I went to China, I took this position also. So when I was in China, I stepped on the other side for about 3 years, okay? But it's not very often that this happens. It's very often that who does this, then he keeps on moving up to the position of design director. What about them? 4 designers you manage? Any junior designers, interns? Yeah, there were 3 young designers that were just from IAAD design school, where I was a teacher when I was very young. So they were hired in Fiat 2 years later, and they happened to arrive in the same studio where I was. And when they gave me that project, I asked to my design director if I could work for them, with them, because I knew them very well, because they were my ex-students. And we worked together, and we really worked very well. Okay, so now that I explained this, let's come back here. Because there is one thing that you have to understand. The lead designer starts getting benefit. Okay? The red thing is benefit. Management, benefit. Design director, benefits. Okay? Until here, no benefits. Here you just have your salary. Maybe you can get a sort of a bonus. Okay? This can happen. You can get a bonus. For example, you worked on a project that went really well. Everybody are happy, and you will get a small percentage of all the bonuses given to that team, because you worked within that team for the success of that project. So if you have a salary, I don't know, of $2,500 or euros, probably you will get $1,000 to $3,000 in one shot in May or April. It depends on companies, and that's a bonus, okay? Of course, on which you have to pay taxes. But anyway, you will get your salary plus that year, one shot, that bonus. Yes, bonus is money. Yes, bonus is money. And those here are benefits. Now, what is benefits? Here it's percentage of money, extra money on your salary, plus other stuff. For example, a car, company car. In some companies, you don't pay, when they give you a company car, you don't pay insurance, you don't pay gasoline. In some companies. Other companies is different. I think you pay your gasoline, but not insurance, because the car is the name of the company. But you use your car, your wife can drive that car, your kids can drive the car, you can use it for private and professional use. Then when you get here, you get also a telephone, which is for free. So you get your telephone, you don't pay the telephone anymore. It's a professional number, but once in a while, if you stay within the economic package of the business contract of the telephone, you can also call privately. Of course, you don't have to abuse, because they check everything. But if you don't abuse of it, that's okay. And of course, here also telephone. Then here you will have also a computer, portable computer that you can have and bring it with you at home, and you don't have to pay for it. The company gives you also a computer that will work with your telephone. So you can see that here there are things that are happening, and here you start having also percentage of company stakes, actions. Here the same thing, company stakes, but you can also have private funds for retirement. You start getting more stuff that get your economical life solid. Management get 100,000 euro per year. It depends, Bartek. It can be less. It depends how long you are here. Because if you are at the beginning, no, forget it. But if you stay there for a longer time, you do work well, you get salary augmentation plus promotions and all that stuff, of course, it will be a consequence. And your salary will improve. But this means also your tax will augment, because, as you know, every country has a taxation, windows, and when you go over expensive window, you pay more taxes. That's normal. And then design director, that will have basically the best package, compared to everybody else. But now there is one thing you have to understand. What is the difference between this part and this part of the career? For someone like me who enters in mid-30s, and I reach the top, in mid-30s, You know, what do you mean mid-30s? I don't know, how old are you? Come on. Ah, uh, it depends. Part-time, I understood your question. It depends. It could be, but it depends on the company. Because big companies, they don't take designers at 33 or at 30. I already explained this. There is a video, note this video title, The Age Factor. You know, career management, the age factor that I made. It's a video still click today. And there I will explain to you exactly why it is really complicated for somebody that is over 27, 28 years old to get into a big design company, just where I worked, for example, and make an incredible career until design director. The reason is simple. You are 33. Imagine that you start 33. Here, where do I put it? Where do I put you? Because people here are 22, 23 years old. People here are in their 30s. People here are from 30 to 45. And here, the beginning of design director, 45 and more. And here they are in between 50 and 60. You understand? If you are 33, so you are more on this side, but no experience, and you present yourself as a young junior designer, the HR department doesn't know how to place you here. I cannot put you here 33 or 34 if all your teammates at the same level are 22, and I cannot pay somebody 33, 34, 2,500 per month, because you should be making more. You should be making 30, 35, 3,500, 3,000, I don't know, 200 at the beginning. You understand the difficulty, the differences. So this is something a lot of people don't think about. And that's why I say always, when you enter in car design, you want to get a bachelor by the age of 26, 27. Bachelor. And if you don't have a bachelor, you want to make a master, okay. But the master by the age of 27, 28, not later than that. Okay. But I'm sorry to give you this probably bad news, but I am always very, very honest. It is in some sectors, you know. If you are 33 and you want to work in A-class modeling, you are welcome. If you are 33 and you want to work as an alias modeler, you are welcome, no problem. But if you want to work as a creative car designer, interior, exterior, it's difficult. I don't want to say impossible. I say extremely difficult. Because where do I put you here? I mean, if I put here with the little kids, I mean, how would you feel? Well, you advise me about reaching the top. By the reaching the top in alias modeling, you can become, for example, manager of the modeling alias modeling team. I've seen people that I know that worked always as alias modelers, and I've seen people that today, after almost 5-6 years, they became team leaders. They always work on alias, but they work also in the organization. And they are responsible for the output of the team modelers. And of course, they make a little bit more money because for them it's being a promotion. but it's a different type of career. You know, yes, Bartek, that's what I'm saying. 30 plus is very difficult. If I am a personal department design director and I'm looking for designers, okay, and I get portfolios, and those portfolios for the majorities are people 22, 23, 24 that come out of design school with a bachelor, 4 years of school or 3 years of school, okay? It's normal that the design director or design manager will look at them because of their creativity level. When they will look at somebody that is already 30 or more, the creativity is different and the skills are different. Take my example. When I was 35, 38, I could not be the creative soul of the team. I had young designers that did that. But with my experience, because I went through all this, okay, all this period, with my experience, I could guide the young designers, and all together we did some really nice projects, really cool stuff. You understand what I mean? So when we have to hire people, and hiring people is like it's like a marriage, so we gotta be very careful. It's normal that we will be looking for younger people rather than people that are older. Also because if I take you at 30 years old or 33, just like a path, okay, I have to push you in management because you cannot stay here too long, but you don't have the experience to get into that. So you need at least 4 or 5 years to learn well. And for 33 plus 4, 37. By 37 people are ready to jump into design direction. So you see, it's difficult. I'm sorry, but it is like that. So let's come back to the difference between this part here. Wait a moment. These people here, okay, and these people here. What is the difference? There is one big difference. Write in the comment. Tell me which one it is. What's the difference between the people that work here and the people that work here? So basically the difference between operational designers with from zero experience to very good experience to not lead designer, study management, and the people that were designers and now are doing only this part. Yes, experience, it's a good answer, Cigar, but there is a specific terminology for those guys and a specific terminology for those guys, including the lead designer. Yes, they can manage teams, it's true, Partumar, but why? Driven by what? Gestion, executives, yes. Combo, yeah, management. Ok, Sharmaman, grande Sharmaman, bravissimo, bravo. So, let's write down, because here there is there is the shift. This is the career shift. Leadership. And here, what do we, if here we have leadership, what do we have here? That's interesting. What do we have here? How you handle when your colleagues speak behind you. A combo after, I'll tell you that. Now let's finish this. Because once I explain to you this, then we will go about, you know, the personage of this big family, you know. So here we have leadership. Here we have talented, creativity. Plus how it works. Okay, that's all we have here. And yes, Parth, you're right. Leadership, design, strategy, design, vision, design, philosophy, company philosophy. So when you look at this, you know, you understand the difference why here you have this and here you have this. Yes, Cigar, exactly. Because here you are paid for your creativity, and here you are paid to make sure that things together work really well, so that you make the car that runs with the good design. But here you have the people that are leaders, you know, that they are able to motivate the troops, that are able to explain their strategy, that are able to make you dream and believe in that strategy. There are people that have a vision and develop that vision through their strategy and their program. And they create a design philosophy that becomes a credo, okay, the rules to respect by these people, in order to make sure that what you will design will be respectful of all those things here. Because those people tell to the president, to the CEO, okay, you trust us, we know what we're doing. And the CEO says, yes, okay, I pay you for this. But what does it mean, this? Let me read. Leadership has to be accountable, leading to more risk. Exactly. Bravo, Sharma. Here you have the risk, which is very high. Because you make a mistake on two models, and the company is losing a lots of money, and you are fired. Here, you are fireable. I don't know if I can use this term, okay? Fireable. You can be fired anytime. You make a big mistake, nobody will save you, because we have to manage the recovery, and very fast. Here you make a mistake, okay, it's okay, no big deal. I mean, it's a big deal, but they will stop your career for a while. You understand? But nobody will put you back here. It's illegal. And nobody can just fire you because you did something that people didn't like, or you propose something that was not, that was put on the side, because you're doing your job. But the people here is different. They have high risk job, and that's why they are paid more money. And in general, if they go away, the company, you know, I don't know what you mean, your own studio, Alan. Tell me, explain your question. So, what does the absolute top look like for alias model like me? But partner, in my opinion, for you, I would say that if you are not satisfied that you are working because you believe that you cannot grow, you should try to postulate in another company, where maybe bigger company, where there is more the opportunity of making a career, even if it's not gonna be the car designer career. You see, that's what I think. So here we are safer. And here we are at risk. Now, once that we learn this and we understand the roles, you know, we go back to our ladder, which is this one, and we'll talk a little bit about the lead designer, because he's in between. You know, this guy or this girl, he has all the experience, technical experience. He knows or she knows how the car is made. He can manage young designers teams on projects. However, he does not make decisions in design, because that's the design creative manager or director. What he can do, he can guide, he can advise because of its experience. And he can also sketch, to make demo, to show, you know, I would do it this way because of this reason, or because of that reason. He can go and talk to technical engineers to defend an idea, or to ask them to try something different. Then he works very well with the design project manager, what I used to do, because together we work to defend the design. In fact, one of the biggest difference between those two people, design creative management and design product manager, is here it's creativity production and creative project choice. And here is how we defend what here they decided to do and to make. Of course, with the CEO company that agrees. So here, when we work with the rest of the company, engineers, marketing, product planning, you know, suppliers, and all the you know, all the people, you know, that make the car with the design, we are there, you know, to make sure that people don't change our design. And of course, we have lots of interactions, work, presentation to organize, little changes to make, negotiations to do, you know, stuff like that. So those are two objectives. They are complementary but different responsibilities. Let me read what Alan is writing. The question right here about being the best in your field. Imagine the car design means having your own studio, like Pininfarina, for example. Yeah, okay. Oh, I understand. Yes. Basically, Partumar, you know, Alan is saying another choice for you would be if you work for yourself, like a freelancer. You open up your own studio and you make your own business. You know, that's something you can do. Something you could do. That's true. You know. Alright, so now that I explained that, what is the main problem when you start well and then you stop? Your career, it looks like it's, it's always there. You cannot move up. And you say, what's going on here? I am stuck there. I would like to get promoted to the next step, and nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Why? Many times, the problems can be two, or both together, or one of the two. The first one, you have a loss of creativity. Sometimes it's not that you are not creative anymore. In reality, you think that you are already a star. I am a star. Now everybody will look at my stuff, and whatever is in I will do, or I'll make it, or I'll propose. I am the best, forget about the rest. It doesn't work that way. Because people up here look at you and say, hey, look at that guy. His attitude is changing. Maybe we were wrong. Because then there is the second problem. That if you have that attitude and you don't care anymore about the quality of your work, that you really push yourself, yourself to show always the best creativity, the good opportunity, how can I say, the responsible, disciplined behavior, then people think that you are becoming arrogant. And when you are arrogant, that really pisses off people, especially top management. Because that means that you are so young and you're already pretending to be treated like if you were here. You cannot pretend that. It doesn't work that way. So I always say to everybody, especially to those people that are really good talent, be humble, stay humble. Don't go around and say, I'm the best. Hey, look at my sketch, so cool. Oh, I really love this one. Or that you go on the sketch of other people and you always find a default. No, this one is not good. Look, I show you. No, this one is not bad. It's bad. Look. Hey, but do you really like that? But look, it doesn't look good. If you start having interacting with people like that, people will hate you very quickly. Also because there is another thing that you don't have to forget. And I will show you this on another page. So let me take a page. In car design studios, just like in school, in transportation design classes, so combo, keeping the team car design career, do I need a pro using Photoshop? Well, Photoshop is very well appreciated. It should be as good as possible. That's for sure. So there is one thing that you don't have to forget. Competition. That's the key word. Why is that important? Because we already in school. Yeah, thank you, Alan. It's true. It's very important. Because in school we learn the good competition. We look around, we do our projects, we discover that we are not very strong, we want to improve our skills to be between the best. And what do? We look at our best students, our best classmates, or we look at other design school students, and we learn from them. In my class there was a guy called Nick Pugh. Go and check, you find him on you can find him on Google. You know, Nick Pug, very good guy. This guy, he was in my class, a star. This guy was so good. We are very good friends, and we interact on Facebook. Go and check what he does. I mean, this guy, and I learned a lot from him. Also, the way I used to play chalk, contrast on my sketches. If today I make a color sketch that have a high contrast with a good focal point, I learned this from my teachers, but mainly from him, because this guy was doing incredible stuff. So competition, but competition has to be a sane competition, okay? Not insane. Sane. Okay, good one. The good one. And you have the same thing at work. That's something a lot of people ignore. At work is the same thing. So if you start behaving bad, you know, if you start having a behavior that it's making few people mad, that making some managers not very happy, the other people will take advantage and they will jump. And you get stuck. Part 1. Does freelancing being best alias get the car project after establishing my own studio? Can I make body kits, tools for body panels, if it succeed? No, but you don't have to make tools for body panels. Alias modeling, A-class modeling, B, C-class modeling is to be a support, okay? It is to be a support to car design studios to make their virtual models. It's not that you have to open up a studio and you have to make tooling. You make you can work also for suppliers, plastic suppliers, metal suppliers, companies that work in product designs, you know, and you can make tooling virtual models for them. You know, that's what you should do as a freelancer. Okay, so you understand the jump. And the same thing can be here too. Now, the lead designer in the middle, you know, he's in front of a choice, because the lead designer in general wants to be a design director. He doesn't like to be a design project manager. And he doesn't like to be managing young designers without being a real manager. So this is a sort of a limbo, you know, space, a little bit of space of nobody. And the problem is a lot of people that are lead designer remain there because they get older in the age and they reject the idea of being project managers. And to be director is difficult, it's not easy. It's not that we change a design director every month or every year. But we can change design project manager every 2-3 years, no problem. So what happens that the lead designer gets stuck there and it gets sometimes frustrated. So the best guys that really have the good quality in management, and for some reason they are not getting here, they leave the company and they become managers or design directors in other companies. That's what happens. You understand? And that's very good, because it's exactly how a career development is acted. That's the classical path of designers that starting a company as young designers, they get their experience, they become sort of experts, or they go a little bit into management, and then at a certain moment of their life they change. And when they change, they get the real good contract, 30% extra on their salary, they get the benefits, you know, they get the car, they get all that stuff. And they get in this part of the career, which means that they can look up to the design director position that soon can arrive. Sooner or later can arrive, because they are projected very close to it. They are not here anymore. But to do this, you have to change company. That's a typical thing, you know. So, guys, I go and drink a little bit of water because my throat is really, really dry. If you want to offer me a coffee, please, you have the thanks button. Thank you very much. If you forgot to put your like, please put your like. If you like this channel, this video, please subscribe to the channel. It's for free. Thank you very much. I drink some water, I'll be back, okay? Just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Well, you know, park tomorrow, it's not a question of 20 years. I've seen people that did a very fast career. They went from here directly to design director. But after, they did this in 5 years, 4 years. But after 10 years, they are still here. And they don't move anymore. And my career has been like this. And I stopped here. Which is fair, you know. It's okay. I mean, I'm not here saying I should have done more. Also because to be, you know, to have that experience, you know, to be here. Oh, thank you, Cigar. Thank you very much for the coffee. Grazie. Hey guys, but it's not fair that Cigar is the only one offering me coffee. I mean, you should also. Thank you. Thank you very much. Grazie, Cigar. Very kind of you. Very kind. There is one thing you have to understand, you know, that to be here, there is politics. And here you don't need very much politics, you know. So when you are here, your main problem is your creativity output, the capability of being behind a project, of defending your project, of being there, you know, all those things. But when you get into here, already here, there is the beginning of politics, and here is a huge politics, because this guy here, don't forget, he's talking to the CEO. So you can imagine that there are the president or the head of product planning, the head of marketing, that probably is not a friend of the head of design, you know. Why you left Renault? I left Renault for a very simple reason. This happened very recently, a couple of months ago. I will explain to you why. Always looking at this. The design director here, the main guy, it's (61 years old). The guy here, it's 50 years old. And in other design studios, okay, they are younger than 50. Okay? They are 45, 47. I am 63. And I was here. So you understand that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. If you want to become a true card designer, I recommend that you are a beginner. You watch Luciano Bove's videos. Thank you. He was my teacher in the 90s. I worked in car design for Pininfarina Ferrari. Then as a consultant for German fairs, creating the most amazing sailboats, and now I'm retired. Alright, that's so cool. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Alan. Oh, muchas gracias. Estoy muy contento. Muy contento. Ganar mucho dinero, Gracias. Gracias. Hey guys, this is fantastic. Alan, I remember very well, with great pleasure. Very nice guy. But one thing that I remember of Alan, I tell you, I have no problem in saying that, is that you are, also your brother, somebody extremely well educated. It was always a great pleasure to have you as a student, to talk to you, to have you around, and I am sure 100% that in Pininfarina was the same thing, and for all the people you worked for. So I'm very happy to know that you are also retired, you know. Oh, to be honest, I was 63, and therefore the company said, hey, look, all the people that are here supposed to be much younger. What do we do? And so we got an agreement. It's very simple. That's what happens. And I said, okay, I understand, and I accept it, you know. This is also an important thing for you guys. There is a moment you know that will arrive like that, and you have to accept it. Besides, I have you, I have my online cigar again. Thank you very much for those that just subscribes, for all of you that put the like and will share this link. And now il mason seems to me like it's a niche design tracks. It's a niche, but there is a good niche, especially in China. I suggest you to check in China because there is a lot of requests over there. So now, also in perspective. Don't worry, we're gonna sketch in perspective, not only side views. 1, 2. Send me a private, please. Got few questions. Bartek, you have to write to me, to my email. I'm writing my email now, okay? Down in the chat. You guys, if you need to write to me, if you want me to analyze your portfolio, if you're looking for online courses to improve your skills, use my email and I will explain to you according to what you're looking for, how it works, okay? And how much it could cost, all right? And now, sigla!